There you have it in a nutshell, my February reads. Stay tuned to see how I fared out. So here we have it. My February book stack seems very doable. So how did I do? Let's just say that I didn't do too well. That little pause in the sentence was for you to insert your profanity word of choice. Right there. Insert that. Not too gosh darn well. I'm terrible, aren't I? Okay, so, I didn't have a good February reading month, and that is all right, because all of the months can't always be winners, and my February went boo right down the tubes, I'm telling you. One whole year of booktube right down the drain. In one fell swoop, this video. All kidding aside. Yeah, I did not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am not procuring a March reading compilation. I'm not doing it. I'm winging the month of March. For now, let's get into these. Let's start with Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. Okay, so this book I did read. Yay! And you probably guessed it because it really wasn't that difficult to complete. All right, so I don't want to give too much information on this book because there is not a lot of body to it, and I fear that even the slightest little twist of hand and I will have revealed too much. I will tell you that Franz was born the 7th. He was amongst 7 siblings, or he was one of 7 siblings. There you go. However, 2 of his siblings had passed away, and he was in fact the only boy out of his siblings now because of that. Because of his love of literature and poetry and reading, that struck a chord with his father, who was not a fan of any, and therefore created a lifelong turbulent relationship. So the father-son dynamic was strained for the rest of Franz's life because of his love of books and literature and such. One day, Franz had a dream, and he went to his, I feel like I can put that down. He went to his fiance and said, yo, this is what I just dreamed, and I want to write this dream down into a story, and I think I need to do it in 1 or 2 long sittings, because I fear that if I do it in any more increments than that, I will lose the story's authenticity, and in fear of damaging the storyline, I need to get this down on paper as soon as possible. And he did set out to do that. He did manage to do that, but it was another 3 years before he actually took it to publishing. So it is the story, very briefly, of a young man who resides at home with his mother and father and quite younger sister. I think they're a well-to-do family. The father retired early. I don't know why I want to say 5 years early, but early. And the mom does a little sewing on the side. The daughter, she practices her violin every day. She practices shorthand and typing because she wants to land a good job. Gregor is our main character, and he is your ideal employee. He settled into a position for comfort rather than financial gain. He's very good at what he does. He shows up every day. He does what is expected of him. He's intelligent. One day, he doesn't show for work. And he does not show because upon awakening, he no longer has the human form about his being. He has now taken on the body of a bug, a cockroach type of bug, where now he has to learn how to maneuver some legs and a shell for a body. And getting out of bed is a story in and of itself. But I digress. He doesn't show for work, so his bosses, in concern, show up at his house. There's a lot of scurrying under furniture, to and fro, up and down walls. Such is the life of a bug. He has a totally different palate for food, such as the life of a bug. He now despises things like milk and fresh fruits and vegetables, and he likes rotting carcasses and half-eaten pieces of chicken still left on the bone that came from the garbage. If that doesn't make you want to read this book. In seriousness though, this is a little book, but this book has a lot of emotion going on in it. I was happy, I laughed, I was concerned, I was saddened, I was not overwhelmed. It takes a lot to get me overwhelmed. I was heartbroken. And just when my heartbreak was at this level, they went and catapulted it to another atmosphere. Should you read this book if you have not? Absolutely. You can do that. Find out the story of Gregor. He is a cockroach type of bug who loves to hear his sister play that violin. And I just want to say, to add to the story without revealing anything, he can hear everything that his family is discussing, and they think that he hears nothing. So there's an element that's brought to the book. Maybe quizzical in your mind, intriguing, I don't know. I'm trying to do my best to get you to read this book without giving any spoilers, but to spark some curiosity in your mind. All I can say is, if you haven't read this, you really should put it on your TBR. It is definitely, in my opinion, worth the read. Okay, so that I read that book, I can officially give it a star rating, and I am going with 5. It's a 5-star rating. I love the book. Even though it had its moments, I love that book. I have to give kudos to him. I have not read anything like it. It's kind of Twilight Zone feel. It has a Twilight Zone feel to it. Yeah, pick that book up. It's fun. All right, now let's go to The Luminaries by Eleanor Canton. Now, this was an incomplete. It is not a DNF, by no means. But my experience with it has not been positive. I bought this book because of the cover. It is beautiful. I've had it since it came out, and I have not touched it. And I didn't really have intentions. Maybe, if it was lucky, I would have gotten to it within a year. However, Alan from Big Hard Books, go check his channel out and give him a subscribe. He is awesome. And Aaron Facer, go check his channel out, give him a subscribe. He is awesome. Both of those two boys were doing a buddy read, and here comes little old me. Well, I would like to read that. So they said, well, sure, come on, plus jump on board. And Alan forewarned me that it was not going to be an easy task. You know, I'm game. What the heck? You know, how hard can it be? I can do this. So, choosing to read this book on the fly, I decided I was going to do the Audible version of it. And at first, like the first few sentences, okay, somewhere, somehow, very quickly into the book, it took a left turn. And I got to chapter 11, and I said to myself, what? And I had to stop, and I was willing to forego everything that I had accomplished with this book and start at the very beginning. And I did that. And once again, I got to chapter 11, and I bailed. I could not do that narrated version. I felt it was too much for me, and I did not want to DNF the book, but I thought perhaps it would just be better if I did it in my own mind and conjured up my own scenarios and scenes and voices and such, because the one that was being narrated to me just was not working for me. There was not a click, and it was stressing me out. So, not wanting to DNF it, I think I made the right choice thus far by getting rid of that version and just taking it on myself. So that's what I decided I was going to do. Alan made me feel good because he said he would like to reread it. Go Alan, because I don't know that I would want to reread this thing. This is, I'm just trying to get through it once. But I'm grateful that he wants to reread it, because now I have a buddy, once again, to read this with. And Aaron made me feel good, because I said, you know what, in my mind, I'm going to read this, but I am not going to rush through it. I'm just going to do it at my own speed. Aaron made me feel good because he said when it first came out, he purchased it, and he began to read it at the Easter holiday, and it wasn't until June that he finished it. So, you know, then the light bulb went off again, like, hey, yeah, you know, there is no saying that we have to have it read by a certain time. So I am happy to report that I am not DNFing this. I am just going to take a different route with it. So I can't give that a star rating or a review so far. So we're going to put that one on the back burner. Then we have The Billionaire and the Monk by Vibhor Kumar Singh. And this is wanting you to fall in love with this charming universal fable full of motivation and wisdom as a billionaire and a monk cross paths and teach each other what it means to be happy. It is my belief only my belief, that happiness cannot be bestowed upon one. It has to come from within, and you cannot tell somebody how to be happy. I think we each have to define our own happiness and what happiness means to us. But there are factors that we can gather up along the way and apply that to our method of happiness. So what I'm trying to say is, some people would say money makes me happy, as in the billionaire. Some people would say a sound, tranquil mind is the key to happiness. So this story is kind of like a Reese's peanut butter cup. Back in the 70s, there was a commercial. This guy was walking with the peanut butter. This one was walking with the chocolate bar. And they collided. And the spoken word was, hey, you got your peanut butter in my chocolate. No, you got your chocolate in my peanut butter. And they both tried it, and it was just splendid when the two worlds came together and united. And that's what this book is. It is money uniting with simplicity, a very simple, minimal life and a very extravagant life. And when the two come together, there are lessons to be learned and shared, and there is positive outcomes to be had. So I am giving this a 5-star rating. I loved it. If you choose to read this, perhaps you will too. Now, 2 more, Fox and I wanted this book to be all the things. I wanted it to be more than what it is right now. I have not completed it. I wanted it to be a lady who chooses to escape the public world and become somewhat of a recluse. Purchase a little cabin in the woods, sit in a lawn chair out front, reading her books, living off the land, or being kind of gypsy-like with her oils and potions and lotions and such. But it is not that. It is very scientific at times. For anybody who read Mama's Last Hug, I got in trouble. I suggested that for book club, and I think there was probably maybe 15, 20 girls in club, and probably only 3 of us read it. But I didn't care. I don't mind a little science in my life, and I love how we can communicate with the animals. I love that. Sometimes, as hard as it is to understand what an animal is needing from us, sometimes it is way more meditative or rewarding to speak to the animals than it is to some human beings, if you know what I'm saying. So I wanted this to be her relationship with the fox, and I thought I read that at some point in time she second-guessed even striking up a friendship or a relationship with him, knowing that foxes don't live too long. I don't know the lifespan of a fox, but this is what was said at some point that I read. Knowing that their lifespan isn't too long, does she really want to go there with her emotions and then have him meet his demise, and then, you know, just have a whole whirlwind of emotions that she doesn't know what to do with. But so far it is not that. It might turn into that. I'm hoping that at some point it will stay true to that. Don't ask me why I'm hoping that. Maybe I just want a good cry. I don't know. But I love my animals, and I love that we have relationships with them, even though we communicate in 2 different ways. Right now, it's very scientific-y. I don't mind it. Impress me with your scientific words for certain flowers or foliage or bug life species. Yep, teach me. I don't mind. I'm probably not going to remember those words, but you know, while I'm reading, I'm all ears, and yeah, impress me. But I don't need to know the pattern of your couch, what you had for supper. You burned your supper, and this is what you made in its in replacement of it. I'm sounding a little whiny right now, and I shouldn't, so I'm going to change that tone of voice around into something positive, or a little bit more, because I don't want to deter anybody from reading this book. I am sure it is going to be a lovely story. I think I don't know, I keep dropping my bookmark, so I'll do my best to say what chapter I'm on. Yeah, I'm definitely past that point. So let's just say, without taking up too much of your time, yeah, about 138, page 138 of maybe 286. So I'm trucking along. But like I said, I don't need to know your wallpaper pattern or your couch pattern or what you had for supper. Just let's, you know, we don't need so much fluff or fillers. Let's just, you know, get to the story. I'm going to finish that one. Then I'll give you my star rating and my review on that. Let's just say, so far, the star rating I'm giving it is a 3. It can change. So, you know, just keep your pants on. Let's just see where that goes. And then if I recommend it, I will, or not, I'll let you know. Now we have this crop duster of a book. I say that because I don't even know. I don't know. I bought this book in, I don't know, October, wanting to read it in December because I love to read a romance novel in December. Right when Christmas Eve is creeping up, like a day before or 2 days before, I get these grandiose visions that I'm going to put on my warmest socks and my comfiest new pajamas and my most fun beverage and snuggle up on the couch and turn the fire on and go nowhere and just read. That is one of my very favorite things to do as Christmas nears. All the lunatics out there doing their last minute shopping and all that hustle and bustle and aggravation, and I've been there, I've done that. I'm over it. Now I like peace and calm and tranquility. So that's what I did, and I set out to read this. And then as I began reading it and got further into the storyline, I shut the book and I said, I cannot read this smut this close to baby Jesus's birthday. So I put it down, and I didn't know what I was going to do with that. I really had to. I was going to return it. That's what I was going to do. I was going to return it. There's a 4-letter word in there that the book kind of is revolving around, and that 4-letter word starts with P and ends in N. And I just can't do that in the month of December. I just can't. So I thought about returning it strongly. And then I said, hey, wait a minute. In BookTube land, there is such a thing as Garbogust. So I did not participate last year. I don't have a lot of trashy books that I know of, but this one will definitely qualify. So maybe I'll just hang on to it for that purpose. And then I got the bright idea that the ladies in my book club love to read the romance, and I get the gist that the smuttier the better. Well, this would definitely qualify. So it was suggested that this become our book of the month for book club. And so it was, except for book club did not happen this time around. So I gave myself a reprieve from reading it. I did pick it up yesterday. Don't ask me why. I did pick it up. I'm at a calm stage in the book. So I feel like I'm able to move forward with it. I finished that chapter, and then certain smutty words were mentioned as we go into the next chapter, and I feel like I'm on a roller coaster ride because we're about to go wait, yeah, we're going up that hill. We're going up that hill, and we are like hovering at the top. So I do not know what this next chapter holds, but I know that I don't know the specifics, but I know the direction. Okay, so I'm gonna be a trooper, and I'm gonna finish this book. I call it a crop duster because, my goodness, it's a junker. It's a junker, but not one that I'm going to DNF. I'm going to see that one through. And incidentally, I said in another video, this title does not sit well with me. I don't like it, but I love the aesthetics of this cover. I think this cover is magnificent. It's beautiful. Green, red, pink, white. I love it. I have since discovered that what a meet cute is. Do you know what a meet cute is? I did not until I bought this book. So it is true. You learn something new every day. Yeah, I'm not recommending this one yet. I'll do a book review on that. I'm hoping to, let me see. Okay, yeah, so I am not reading anything new in the month of March until I finish these. So as soon as I finish this video, I am going to edit it and post it, and then I am going to get cracking on these books. I have decided what I am going to do is give myself 1 week to finish all 3 of these, and I am extending my bedtime by 9, 10, 11, 12, 3 hours, which is going to be a little bit hard because I'm in my 50s, and it is said that 50-year-olds cannot make it past 9. I get up pretty early. I get up around 3:30 a.m. But my boss is older than me. He's in his 60s, almost 70. And he has been staying up. He stays up till 10 o'clock every night, regardless, and he gets up at 5:30. And he's new to discovering Netflix. So he's been watching some movies until midnight, 12:30 a.m., and still getting up at 5:30 a.m. and never being one to be outdone. That's why I came up with my decision that, well, if he can do it, I can do it. And so we are living life to the fullest, and we are going to get at least 3 more hours out of our day. Wish me luck. Until my next video, you gotta know, book friends, that I love you. Be well, be good, and be reading.